Without any further ado, it is time to get down to business. From
We've approached the final day, the final game of the BC Boys high school basketball season. And Coach, can you synchronize the official call? Woo! There we go. It's official. We're underway here. The 79th annual BC Boys Quad A Basketball Championship finale. Sold out again, Coach Ebe. As you look around here, it's a glorious sight.
Even all the boxes are all full as well.
And there's two Vancouver Island teams on the court, and many who thought it would dip a bit this year. I don't think so. Event is underway here. Not a regional thing, it's an event. And boy, look at this crowd as Spectrum in their home whites with orange and blue trim, and the Dover Bay Dolphins in their blue road uniforms. And a opening salvo there fired by J. Elijah Hellman.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Good start on that. Good start.
I think we're having some problems with your mic there, Eve.
They finally cut me off.
I finally found a way. That's Van Suter, who was so hot in the semifinals on Friday. This Dover Bay team, as Coach Ebe and I called the game yesterday, just a unflappable nature, shooting the three. And when they get on a roll, look out. Here's Hendrickson.
And Dover starting in a 2-3 zone.
Hellman drives into the paint. Leans into it, can't get it to go. Frank Linder battling with Hellman underneath the basket.
And that ball did hit the rim, so that'll give 18 seconds on the shot clock.
And we're getting some overmodulation on Coach Ebe's mic. Maybe the technical crew can look into that for us. Here's Felt high, the high post back out to Heinrichsen. Just off the mark. Linder into the paint he goes, and Frank Linder finds a way to make it fall. Number 10, what a tournament he's had, the UBC signee.
Yeah, took the bump there and then finished.
Spectrum back into the half court. Here's Felt. Tyler will put it on the deck. He got right to the rim, couldn't lay it up and in, and Joe Linder, the point guard now, the grade 10, to older brother Frank. Hendrickson there to guard him, but here comes Linder out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was a great back cut, but he just couldn't finish the layout.
Hellman, Van Suter out to guard him. Up to Felt. Heinrichsen. CJ Zuno, number 3, can also knock it down. He's had some big shooting games here this season. Great take by Heinrichsen in, can't get the finish.
Yeah, he just stumbled, was a bit off balance and couldn't finish.
Linder, what a move in the paint.
And he was freed up because Hudson Trude set a tremendous screen to open that up for him.
Hudson Trude wearing number 34 in blue. Just seems to revel in the dirty work down in the painted areas. There he is defending right now, but getting a little bit aggressive there as he tries to slow Spectrum's Harper Kopp. Harper Kopp, the 6'4" senior guard. Get to the free throw line early. Dover with the 7-3 lead as Kopp prepares. This being the 5th meeting this season between these two teams. Spectrum with a 3-1 advantage, but the only Dover Bay victory coming on a neutral floor in the semifinals of the Emerald Tournament in January. And this here a neutral floor as well. Here's Linder.
I mean, was that Emerald Tournament packed?
I was not at the Emerald tournament.
It was just packed with the top 3 teams, and then you had Terry Fox and Vancouver College.
Yeah, it was
a great tournament.
Amazing tournament, yeah. Here's Linder, the deep 3. He'll pursue it. Joe Linder now wants to break down the defense instead. Back up to Slater for 3. The rebound underneath, and this is exactly what you talked about yesterday.
Yeah, they're so good at chasing down the 3-point misses. And they drew fouls inside by doing that. I think my mic is working again. Can you hear me?
I think you're okay, yeah. We'll let our technical team know that if you're not getting the sounds you want, to really come down and make adjustments here, but we're going to keep going. We haven't seen anybody from the TFSC TV crew down here, so we will just plow ahead.
I'm sure if my mic's not working, there'll be many listeners that will be quite happy with that, Howard.
You're the voice of basketball in this province, Eve, and you know that's not true. Here's Zuno. Back up top, Hellman. J. Elijah Hellman into the paint. Scoop doesn't work, and he crashes to the deck.
Good no call there by the referee.
Suter. Back up top, he goes to Frank Linder. Linder squaring in the air, couldn't get that to go. Henriksen levitates to get the rebound here as we go 9-4 Dover Bay. First time, as he pointed out yesterday, a grand fact, the first time 2 defending champions have ever met in a BC Boys Championship final, because Dover Bay moved up from 3A. Both teams won their respective championships last year. Henriksen, deep 3, and he's going to follow the miss. Rebounds out to Zuno, who's shy, tipped out and batted into the hands of Hellman. He'll put up the 3.
Oh my goodness.
There is a more old school team, though. It is Spectrum. Linder, the reverse. So Dover Bay finding some success here early.
Yeah, 11-4 now. Coach Verde might be considering a timeout if they don't score here.
We're just past the midway mark of this opening quarter. Our 4th and final BC championship of an incredible day of basketball. Felt couldn't score it there, and Suter with the rebound now. Right back to Frank Linder. Joe will square up. He's had his red-hot shooting days as well at this tournament. Spectrum yesterday needing everything they had to try and get past Mr. Golgovac and the St. George's Saints. They survived that one to see the championship Saturday. And there's Harper
and
Cobb.
Saints won. Saints beat Terry Fox on a buzzer beater in the 3rd place game.
It's been some kind of tournament. Justin Heinrichsen. Hellman to Kopp. The first sub of the game is going to be Andrel Zukov, the 6'5" senior.
Yeah, Kopp picking up the foul there. I think that's his 2nd. And Coach Verde is going to use his first timeout.
Well, what have you seen thus far? It's been up and down. It's been there is some definite palpable energy in the air, but what have you thought so far?
Well, Spectrum has made a decision. Dover Bay's made the decision today that they don't want to get beat inside. They're trying to take Felt away from the hoop by playing this zone. They're trying to basically force Spectrum to shoot more threes than they normally do, and I think so far it's been pretty successful, right? Whereas Spectrum on defense is just playing straight man, and they just have to make sure that they chase down the big rebounds. Dover Bay, you know that they're going to take quick and early threes, so you've got to be prepared to get the rebound. But I really noticed Dover is really keying on Felt, and they're going to say to the Thunder, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to hit a lot of threes today.
Interesting, in talking to Ken Shields recently, he said he likes the way, and he worked with them briefly, Spectrum, last year. So as Ebe has to get off the air for a second, we'll shut his headset down. But Ken Shields told me he really liked the way Spectrum didn't overuse the 3. And as Ebe says, they get pushed into shooting that. They certainly can shoot it, because they'll tell you Heinrichsen is right up there with the very best in the province of three-point shooters. There's Felt inside, and he finds a way to get it done.
Yeah, right out of that timeout, they went to him.
Slater's going to take one. And Dover Bay is not getting on a roll shooting the three. They have, remember, this is here in the early going. It's a one-possession game as Hellman back in the half court. Cop at the high post, down low to Felt. You see Felt lowering the shoulder into Linder there, trying to get some space. And they come away empty. Suter on the top to Frank. Heinrichsen guarding him. Slater to Suter, inside, shot clock under 10, and Suter driving to the basket with a layup.
A rare two-pointer for Suter.
Branson out from that strength of his skill set, puts it on the deck and scores 13-8. Here's Kopp. Hellman inside, gets called for the travel.
I like Spectrum's doing a good job of getting it into the high post to Kopp, but he's got to turn and shoot that, because they're trying to force it inside, and Felt's not open. He's just got to shoot that little foul shot a couple times. That'll bring the zone up.
Suter back now on top to Linder. Joe trying to shake Kopp here, and he turnaround move, and a tough shot's not going to fall for him. Zuno with the rebound. Henriksen, of course, and Felt destined for the University of Victoria next season.
Yeah, that's just what we talked about, right? Get that ball at the high post and shoot that shot or attack the rim, and that'll help their offense a tremendous amount.
See how it starts to loosen things up at the other end of the floor as Suter now with the basketball. Intercepted by Heinrichsen. Linder, the only one to beat. Heinrichsen, bit of a jump hook there, didn't go. Here's Kopp. Leaves it off underneath, and somehow J. Elijah Hellman scores in traffic.
You're right, somehow. I don't know how he got that shot off.
There's Joe Linder, splits traffic, squares up, and drops the jump shot there. Both teams putting on nice displays of offense at both ends of the floor. Here's Kopp, and he again attacks the rim.
Yeah, that's going to force Spectrum to make some an adjustment. Great job by the Thunder to find that seam in the zone at the high post.
15-14 the lead. Dover Bay with the basketball and the lead. There's Slater. Too strong. Zuno skies for the rebound there. The compact point guard now. The Thunder. Hellman thought about the pull-up three. Instead, Zuno gets right into the paint, attacks the rim himself. Dover Bay Dolphins. Spin move out from brother to brother. It's Joe for three. That three ball is not falling. Kopp at the other end is going to get the easy bucket.
Great pass from Heinrichsen there.
And just like that, Spectrum now leading as we get to the final 20 seconds of this opening quarter.
Is that their first lead?
First lead, yeah. I think. Unless they led at 2-0, but anyway, here we go. We got the AOK that we are broadcasting full blast here from beautiful Langley Township. 16-15 with 2.2 seconds.
See, they should know better. How? You can't silence me. Come on, baby.
Right. Hellman had a good look at it, not too far off at the buzzer. So Spectrum with a 16-15 lead. That's just like the first few chess moves of this game, Eve. Yeah.
And would you expect no less from 1 and 2, this great island rivalry this year? I think this is probably going to go right down to the end, and it'll be very interesting to see the coaches making the adjustments. We talked about this yesterday. When you play a team so much, right, there's not as much technically you can do, but then in the game you have to adjust in the game. So it's a bigger challenge as a coach because you can't prepare as much ahead of time because you've already done that. And now it's, okay, what's actually happening in the game? And these are two great coaches, so they'll figure it out.
What a great show we get here. And you know what? You tend to think if you happen to be, was it the Pacific Coliseum in 1978 for the Nanaimo Oak Bay game? Who would have ever dreamed that it would be 47 years later till there was a all Vancouver Island top tier final? That's amazing.
It is. And if you think of the history of Oak Bay in particular, but also the other island schools.
Yeah.
They were dominant, back in the day. Legendary coaches, Don Horwood, of course, winning 3 titles and then going on to win titles for Alberta. And,
wow.
Yeah, so you would not have thought it would have taken that long to see 2 island teams again.
But it's funny, I wrote a piece on that era, and all those guys were coming out of the woodwork saying, hey, I read that, I remember that. You didn't get this part. You know what happened here when we played them? It was just, it's all out there, just waiting to be told.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a very exciting thing to see. And again, here we are, present day 2025. 47 years later, we get it again, the All Vancouver Island final. Fading is Hellman. And that's number 4, Arvin Sidhu, newly checked into the game for the Spectrum Thunder in their home whites. No shortage of three-point opportunities for Dover, but not hitting on all cylinders like they have at other points in this tournament.
Yeah, they were only 1 for 6 in that first quarter, as was Spectrum.
So 2 for 12 combined here in the spacious confines. Well, these teams both know this building because of their excellence. There's Slater from the top for 3. That's going to go to Spectrum.
Leading scorer for the Thunder, Harper Kopp, with 9. And for Dover Bay, we've got Frank Linder with 8.
And Harper Kopp hasn't always been the starter. That 5th spot in the rotation for Tyler Verde has been one where they've let things emerge organically. I haven't seen Spectrum in a long time, so Kopp could have been starting for a while, but...
I think that was on Hudson Trude. And he's going to get to play 50 seconds this quarter because that's his 3rd.
Boy, Trude has had some foul problems at this tournament. Against this Spectrum team that has some size, you want that guy who's willing to put his body on the line down low. And I'll tell you, number 5, Zukov, his job just got a lot bigger here on the floor.
Yes, it did. No question.
He will move into that spot and one way or the other absorb some of that contact. And he's done a good job in that role.
2-2-1 pressure here.
Linder finding the short pass to get it over half court, but Tyler Felt there with a wingspan. Boy, I just marvel every time I watch Tyler Felt facing the basket. He's just better and better and better.
Yeah, I think the Vikings are very lucky with the haul they got in the recruiting.
That's pretty impressive. Torrin Franklin, of course, as well. The nephew of Chris Franklin will head there next year. Here's Heinrichsen, down the floor he goes. And he's going to get fouled on his way to the basket. Was that Frank Linder that fouled him? Oh, just knocked out of bounds, excuse me. Oh, no.
Oh, it's a foul. I didn't see who it was on, though. Oh, they got it up on the board now. It was on Joe Linder, his first.
Joe Linder, yes, number 11. In the quarterfinal round, what a game by the Linder brothers. 37 from Joe, 27 from Frank. 64 points combined by the brothers.
That's a Kazanowski-like total.
It is, isn't it? Everything's linked to that 77-78 season. Razumikaz in the new age. Here's Linder. Heinrichsen guarding him. He recovers. Back up to Suter. A second take to the rim here by Van Suter in the first half. That one doesn't succeed. And here's Hellman. He's going to pull up for 3. That's Suter right in his face. Contested shot there. Linder just couldn't
and
get into his zone.
I think Joe Linder didn't need to save that because that was actually deflected, that shot. would have gone back to Dover, but he didn't know that, and so he tried to save it out of bounds. Coach Seaman thinking it should have been a foul there, having a little word with the ref.
Henriksen with a deep three, and Henriksen knocks down the big triple there.
Yeah, wide open at the top because they went to the high post.
Green lighted to shoot that from his head coach, Tyler Verdi. Big one there to make it 23-15. The Dover Bay offense, Ebe, is dried up a bit here.
It certainly has, yeah. After a fairly quick start, Spectrum is really putting pressure on them, and they're chasing them off the three-point line. They're making them put it on the floor, which is not their comfort zone.
And a miss by Frank Linder on the first free throw. When they cut into that 8-point deficit. Early moments, second quarter here. The 79th annual BC Boys Quad A Basketball Championship, capping off our 4-day championship card on Saturday. Here's Harper Kopp at the high post, who put it on the deck. Underneath. Couldn't get that turnaround shot to go. Linder drawing a crowd, and Tyler Felt leaves his feet to block it. Henriksen quickly, Zuno, and they want a timeout.
And I think that's a good timeout call because right now Frank is forcing it a little bit, and Henriksen, his defensive abilities are really on display right now. I mean, what a great matchup, those two going head-to-head. And Henriksen defensively is doing a phenomenal job. And you also saw there, Felt came over to join the party, and he blocked it.
Yeah. That is a dream matchup when you think of it. I mean, you love the name brand, you know, and I know it's a night to talk about high school, but I think for all of BC basketball, especially with, you know, the U Sport Final 8 here, there's a synergy that connects university and high school basketball that needs to be exploited more. They need to be playing the Buchanan Cup, all the stuff they need to do, but that certainly is not going to hurt the whole BC environment from high school to university, having all those names.
How interesting is that you got these two battling each other? Well, guess what? That battle is going to continue.
5 more years.
Frank's at UBC and Henderson's at UVic, so that rivalry between these great players will continue.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch it all, but today it's high school's day, and the final day of our 24-25 season.
And just this amazing environment. Look at the crowd. Look at it. You know, we talked about, you know, with two island teams, there was some concern that maybe the crowd wouldn't be as big, but, I mean, it's a sellout.
Wow, it is sold out. People just want to see great basketball, and these two teams among the best all season long. Here's Linder. Coming out of the timeout, we'll see the tweaks here as Linder puts it on the deck, challenges them, goes right inside, and scores the basket, the N1 opportunity. And that is a player reacting to a timeout.
Man, he just swept the ball and said, I'm sick of getting blocked. I'm going to go hard. He got by Henriksen and then took the foul from Felt, and he's got the chance for the N1.
And Linder's going to make the free throw. So a three-point play there, and productive for Darren Seaman to call that timeout. The instant response on the attack by Frank Linder. Kopp at the high post. He'll go back up top to Henriksen. Zuno the skip. Kopp again. Got the one-on-one here. Fell, what a move. And that didn't fall.
Yeah, I thought that was down for sure, but beautiful move, you're right.
My goodness, the spin move on a guy like Linder underneath. That's what Tyler Felt's all about these days. Here's Linder. Back to brother Joe. What a job. The backspin Linder tries to put on that doesn't work, and Felt quickly down the floor he goes. Felt's gonna finish. He's gonna take a pass as he trails from Mateo Williamson, and he will dunk that basketball.
No reverse layup that time.
No more finesse there. Linder. Felt joins the party, as you said, even. Now it's on the deck, and they're battling for it. I think it's gonna be a jump ball, and it'll stay with Dover Bay. So Hudson Trudel will make his reappearance.
Man, I'm not sure I like that. 6 minutes to go, and he's got 3 fouls. He's going to have to make sure that he doesn't pick up another one.
That's a tough one. Linder to Linder, back up to Frank as Heinrichsen guards him. And trying to clear space. He goes to Joe for 3 off the front of the iron. Very quickly, CJ Zuno. Williamson swings it back out. Zuno in the paint finds Felt, guarded by Suter. Shot clock at 10. Little runner there is not going to go for Williamson. A big stop here for the Dolphins. Linder. Heinrichsen is doing it at both ends. Trying to keep Frank out of his comfort zone, forces that shot. Batted into the hands of Felt. And Justin Heinrichsen will switch from defense to offense now. Slater guarding him, they go to Zuno. Establish Williamson in the high post, down to Felt, the baseline jumper.
Yeah, smart by Felt. He's really crowded inside, so he stepped out to the short corner, knocked down the 10-footer.
And the Dover defense flat-footed, but Trude is right there for the lay-in.
Great pass from Joe Linder.
Williamson again. Goes to Felt back up top. Mateo Williamson uses the window.
And that's the shot they have to take. That little high post is available all day.
So a 10-point lead. Dover wants to get into that three-point shooting zone, but they just have not been able to do it. Heinrichsen to Williamson back up top to Kopp.
And you can see Coach Darren Seaman was up at the front getting ready to call the timeout if Spectrum had scored. They traveled, so now he's going to go back and try to save it. If they don't score here, I think he'll do the same thing.
Oh, this game's going too fast. There's only 4 minutes left in the half. 31-21 Spectrum. Dover Bay, no exaggeration to say they've been challenged to score for an extended period. Linder unable to get that to happen. Zukov will check back into the game at the next stoppage. There's Hellman. Jay Hellman fading is going to get that to go. And the largest lead of the game is now 12 points.
And you saw there that Trude couldn't attack him and block him because of the foul, the 3 fouls. He had to lay off.
So Spectrum looking good here. Reverse from Suter. Again underneath, and Joe finds a way.
That was like Pete Maravich, like spin he put on that, man.
Pistol Pete reborn in 2025 underneath the basket. Pistol Pete from his LSU days. Oh, that one through the hands of Joe. I guess Joe Linder didn't know it was coming. Fired underneath for Felt. That's a dime for Heinrichsen.
Yeah, I think they're going to need that timeout, and they're going to have to think about coming out of the zone. Spectrum has really now figured out how to beat it.
This Spectrum team has played them and won 3 of the 4. Here's Suter. Finally a 3 dropping for Dover Bay.
Yeah, off the penetration and kick, and they needed that one in a big way.
Hellman, skip underneath, and Kopp can't finish it. A rebound to Frank Linder. Frank off the window. Finally, if you're a Dover supporter, you're starting to see some rhythm. The 3 ball and then the shot off glass makes it a 7-point game. Henriksen to Zuno. Hellman with a shot fake.
And there you go.
Trude's going to pick up the foul.
Yep, there you go.
That was a risky move to put him in. Zukov quickly off the bench. Trude's got 4 fouls. With 1:40 left in the half.
And that'll be very interesting if they sit him for the entire third quarter. I think that's what they're going to have to do. Now, if it starts to get more away from them, they might risk and put him back in. But, yeah, I mean, it's a gamble when you put a player in with 3 fouls in the second quarter.
But, you know, the more you think of this, Eve, and I really would love to get your response here is, you know, when you're challenged to match them size-wise in some ways, Trude's value to you, what is it that would key Coach Seaman to want to get him in that early, that he notices he's got to put a Band-Aid on?
Well, I think what he saw happening was they started to exploit the zone and get more, you know, Felt had a dunk. You just saw it on the replay. He had the little stuff on the baseline. And so he probably was worried that they might pull away. And so he put the size back in. I think in that situation, you have to trust your bench. And it's hard.
Yeah.
As coaches, it's hard. But I think you have to trust your bench because I personally, and this is just my choice, I would always wait so he can start that third quarter with 3 fouls.
We'll see what happens the rest of the way, but we can tell you this much. Zukov, number 5, has an opportunity here to make a difference in this basketball game. And he'll come in and get ready for the last 140, perhaps an extended surge as well in the third quarter as J. Elijah Hellman of the Fly-In Hellman brothers in the basketball game now. Here's Joe Linder. Get it across half court to Suter. 1:30 left in this half. From behind, Justin Hendrickson dislodges the ball. Hellman with a great skip pass. Down they go. What a basket that was by Harper Kopp.
Yeah, Spectrum, like sharks sensing blood in the water, extended their pressure that time and got the turnover.
No question about that. A great way to put that. Linder tries to get it back. He does. So make it a 10-point lead once again with 1 minute left in the first half. A 10-point lead here for Spectrum. Inside they go.
And great job by Zukov there, not allow that lob pass and knocked it out of bounds.
Zukov, a guy that spends a lot of time in the weight room, you could just tell. And he relishes his role as a guy who puts some physicality into the proceedings. Hellman unable to get the 3 ball. Great job by Suter to scoop it loose, but right into the hands of Zuno. Now here's Felt. Look at Felt. Take it right to the rim. Plays through the contact and gets the basket to fall.
All right, Dover needs to score here. They don't want to go into that. Oh, there was Linder. They don't want to go into that third quarter down double digits.
42-30. It's a 12-point lead right now. Tyler Felt just needed a short little runway there. Once he got airborne, he took on 2 defenders. And you see the solid frame when he attacks those defenders. He doesn't even flinch. It just a solid shot release.
Big, strong boy.
MVP, of course, of last year's Quad A tournament. There's Linder dislodged by Hellman. Hellman. And a great job there by Slater, but Zuno now has it. CJ on the baseline, finds Felt, kicks it back out. Kopp. Hellman tries to save it, can't do it. It'll be Dover Bay ball with 5 seconds left.
All right, 5 is certainly enough time for them to get a shot off. But you know Spectrum's going to put some pressure on them. Yeah, there it is.
Kopp and Hellman at the front end. Oh, and that blocking fall is going to get called on Hellman.
Yeah, and they had a foul to give there, so won't be shooting.
Got an opportunity in the front court here. So
and that's Hellman's third, so that's a big foul right before halftime like that.
His third foul with 1.9 seconds. Linder's shot will not fall. So a statement made by Spectrum. They came out, they fired the first shot here, and they've got a 12-point lead at the half. Interesting times indeed on the way to the BC Quad A title. if you're Dover Bay, everything you've done, all the miles you've logged and the training they put in for their stamina, I think they're physically going to be there. They've got to figure it out schematically.
Now, I forgot to check. You'll know this. Who was the last team to go back-to-back in 4A?
Oh, Kitsilano?
Yeah, okay. It was that
on two occasions,
It was that long ago.
I'm pretty sure it's Kits, yeah.
And that was when we were at GM Place.
Yeah, and I wasn't even covering it.
For the first one. Yeah, you were covering the
Grizzlies
then.
at that time,
Yeah, that was the Sandy Bizarro group. And then the Chris Porteous and Levon Kendall group, that was at the Agrodome. And I should know this because that, of course, I got to coach Chris Porteous. And by the way, for me, how cool is for me to walk in here and see Lord Tweedsmuir playing, and there's Chris Porteous up on the sidelines, head coaching the Panthers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was so cool to see that. And about 5 or 6 of alumni from that team at CAP came to watch and support.
Oh,
Chris
that's
Porteous.
tremendous.
Yeah.
That's the missing era of my high school career when I was gone doing the NBA. I never saw them play high school basketball.
Yeah, what a team that was.
Yeah, I can
My
imagine.
goodness.
But yeah, Kitsilano on 2 occasions with both Coach Coots and Coach Sykstrom.
That's right. Yeah.
With 1 year in between, I think is what it was, or something like that.
Yeah, just dominance.
So it doesn't happen too easy. In girls basketball, I mean, we get 2 to 3 year champions very frequently.
There's not the depth in the girls that there is in the guys. It's so hard to repeat, And if the West Van Highlanders had a better coach, maybe we wouldn't have lost that semifinal last year. Oh, I thought I'd gotten over it, Howard.
I can tell you that was it was so exciting to watch from afar. Everything that I want to say engulfs you, but that you love so much about this game, and that you could lose in the Final Four and come back here and throw the headsets on the next day.
Oh yeah. You got to get over it, right? Like if you're going to coach, you're going to lose a lot, and you got to learn how to deal with it. And for me, win or lose, I'm very intense, as you know. Win or lose, and the game's over, the game's over.
Yeah,
but I'm still bitter.
And I know that as I was waiting here for the game to start last year, you were. And we're talking over halftime. I completely forgot. Take a break here. Let's take a break.
We gotta
rest
so much fun.
We'll rest our voices. Back in 5.
Never was really part of a big union like LiUNA, encouraging you to get out there, get the training. That's a lot of support.
There's more integration and more of the First Nations communities to come here and get experience working, right? There's a lot of opportunity there.
We're all just like one huge family. It's been one of the best experiences of my life.
And we're back with you, Howard Spurra, Paul Eberhardt, the final half of the final game of the final season, or of this season, 24-25, ending the way we love to see it end, with a pair of terrific basketball teams doing battle in the best possible environment for BC Boys High School basketball. That is the Langley Event Center, giving high school basketball the spotlight it so much deserves. We're going to get underway here with a Dover Bay possession as CJ Zuno will perform the inbounds here.
And as we look at the Dover lineup, we do see that Hudson Trude is not on the floor.
Not on the floor.
So they're probably going to leave him out for the whole quarter.
Whole quarter. We'll see how that goes and how that impacts things. And Felt goes right inside on the first touch.
And that was a statement. They made a statement there. They're going to go high-low, and they're going to get the ball to Felt. And that's exactly what they did.
So the first salvo fired there, and Felt scoring. Dane Schmidt is the new Dover player working with his group. Suter hits the triple. So Dover wants to get their share of stops and maybe get multiple threes to see if they can't erase this deficit.
Yeah, with Trude out of the game, they're making a serious effort to get that ball inside the Felt. Nice job tipping it out of bounds there.
19 on the shot clock. Felt again challenged in the paint, gets his own offensive rebound from behind. Linder dislodges it. And you're right, Ebe. No secret what they're trying to do right now. These Dover Bay Dolphins trying to stop Felt from establishing his office underneath the basket. 44-33, 11 points as Suter to Linder. Frank drives, had an opportunity there against Henriksen, couldn't score it. Hellman back out to Henriksen. Jay Elijah with the three ball. Good on the carom down, doesn't fall. And
Linder now 5 for 15, 33% shooting. Great defense by Henriksen.
Schmidt in and out there. Minute and a half into this third quarter of play. Henriksen gets a lot closer, follows the miss, and the Dolphins are being given an opportunity here to get things going. They just can't seem to find the scoring touch they need. Schmidt is stripped of the ball. Joe Linder does the same thing, and Linder shields himself. That is beautiful the way he scored that basketball.
Yeah, he did a good job of making sure that the big man couldn't get him from behind. He used the rim to protect the ball.
Beautiful job there by the grade 10 who doesn't play like a grade 10. Felt, Zuno for three. Off the mark there, tipped. And it's going to stay, I believe, with Spectrum. Yes, indeed. So down to a 9-point lead. Here is Henriksen in the front court. He'll inbound the basketball. Going to Zuno, and very aggressively, Joe Linder knocking it out of bounds. Shot clock at 18. Henriksen again, now back to Hellman. Shot clock at 10 as Hellman puts up the three. Dover cutting into this deficit. Here they come again. Joe Linder to Suter. Frank Linder. Tough degree, but he gets it to fall. Boy, that was a tough shot under duress for Linder.
That was great offense and great defense at the same time.
Wow, 44-37 now, cut to a 7-point lead. See about getting those kinds of paint touches and how Dover is starting to slow that, Eve. Here's Heinrichsen. Oh, he's going to shoot from the outside, and it's not going to fall. Suter Oh, and Felt with a block.
That's got to be 4 or 5 blocks by Felt at this point.
And he gets them when he goes to full 94 in pursuit from behind, and he gets the block. Here's Hellman. 16-footer's not going to fall. Boy, Spectrum shooting themselves into a bit of a funk here. Joe, and at the rim again. Dover wanted goaltending, but they're not going to get the call.
No, I think the ball was still on the way up, and he just smacked it against the backboard.
Back-to-back possessions, the rejections by Tyler Felt. Henriksen, the lob down low to Tyler. The one bounce under, and Dover says, I can do that too. Frank Linder. Displaced to the ball. CJ quickly down the floor. Kopp, and tempo is going to get the roll. CJ Zuno to Kopp for the lay-in.
And you can see Coach Sheeman just telling Dover, push, 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 go, go, go. He wants an up-tempo game.
Schmidt takes the shot. That goes in and out again. Linder batted it from behind, but Hellman there to save it. Jay Elijah to Felt, who'll slow it up. He could so easily play this point guard position. Hellman going to Henriksen. Felt. His jump shot's not going to go. Curious shot selection after what was working for Spectrum. 5 minutes to go, midway mark, third quarter. Schmidt's getting a long extended stint here with Trude on the bench. Oh, what a patient Frank Linder.
Yeah, he waited for both Henriksen and Felt to go over top of him on the block and then use the reverse on the hoop.
It is a savvy move. You can't really teach that kind of stuff. So instinctive for number 10 to make it 46-39. Hellman uses the glass and able to score the basket there to make it a 9-point game again. So a little change of pace there for Linder off the dribble. Slater, drive on the baseline, kick it back up top. Frank finds a lane. Wanted to defy gravity there, but Joe Linder can play the garbage man too.
And he's going to claim that that was a pass. He's going to claim that it was, even though we know it wasn't.
I just wanted to give my brother palm burn when that ball came down there.
Exactly.
There is Kopp now. 7-point deficit. Big possession here is the thermometer of how this third quarter is going. Felt drives into Frank Linder, and it looks like number 10 is going to get called for the foul.
I think it's going to be on Joe. Yeah,
you nailed it.
Yeah, Frank had it clean, but Joe reached in from behind, and and they're saying it's a non-shooting foul because he hadn't gathered for the shot yet.
And Joe with his second. No jeopardy there for Dover Bay.
And they turned it over right on the inbounds pass.
Wow. Dover, the opportunity in front of them after Spectrum was on the verge of pushing them off into the abyss. And they've recovered here to make it a 48-41 game. 3:35 left in the third quarter. Here's a one-on-one. Linder against Heinrichsen. Turnaround jump hook's gonna fall. This run, exactly what the doctor ordered for the guys in blue. Hellman, a little head fake, but Linder able to slop it away. And look at the emotion from number 10.
And he's starting to come alive a bit now as Coach Verde is going to take his first time out of the second half, try to slow down this momentum a little bit by the Dolphins.
Yeah, it's been impressive to see. And you were talking about the paint touches. I'm curious. Kind of, it looks like, did they go away from it, or were they just not able to get the looks they wanted with Felt down low?
I think it's a combination of both. Sometimes, and you never know why, as a coach, it drives you nuts. You do these things that work, and then all of a sudden your team starts doing something different. And you got to stay on top of them. Say, hey, guys, this worked for us. Let's get it to the high post. Let's look high-low. Let's look on the baseline. Also, you got to give some credit to Dover because they started to now take that away.
Yeah.
You saw the last lob pass they tried to sort of Felt. They fronted him and they got a tip on it. So, it kind of works both ways. But I know right now, Coach Verde's saying, boys. This is what we're going to run next time down the floor, and it'll be an inside high post or low post.
And we'll see if that happens, Eve. That's a great comment. 48-43 the score here as we get towards the end of the third quarter. It's a run being put on here by the Dover Bay Dolphins. They have come back from a sizable double-digit deficit here to get right back in it.
I think if I'm doing my math right, it is a 13-4 run.
13-4 run,
yeah.
and Eve never misses. He's the man of the runs here. He knows how that stuff works, and we will see what happens here as the play resumes. Dover with the basketball. Great move there by Linder. Can he make that fall? He does. He hits it over Kopp. Suddenly a one-possession game. See if we get that paint touch. Indeed we do. And there it is. It's a dunk. A little bit of emphatic play by Felt.
That's a pretty good paint touch when you get a dunk.
I'd say so. 50-45 after the Joe Linder jump shot. Which made it 50 to... So that, what a climb back by Spectrum, and I think what a return to their form they're going to get from coming out of that. No, they're going to put up the Zuno 3. Felt gets the rebound, but ripped away by Evan Slater.
Yeah, Dover Bay got lucky there. They left him wide open, but he didn't knock it down.
Here's Linder. Frank to the rim.
He's finding his place now, baby.
Zuno.
Yeah, they tried high-low again, but Hellman didn't fake the pass. He turned it over, and then he committed a frustration foul.
And he will take a breather.
This is his fourth foul.
His fourth foul, he's going to have to sit. So, big one there with 1:53 left in the third quarter. Jay Hellman with his fourth foul. We want to Suter. Just off the mark here, and here comes Spectrum. Henriksen to the high post to Williamson. Now Zuno again. CJ, the skip down low. There's a paint touch. There's a carbon copy reverse lay-in for the last one he made. Felt made one of those earlier in the game. 52-47 now the score. And Frank Linder is affecting things. He is...
Yeah, that's a tough call on Henriksen. He did a pretty good job, and Linder was a little bit out of control. Henriksen was in pretty good position there. That's a fortunate break for the Dolphins.
Now we could hear the pop of that contact here at our broadcast location courtside. Linder makes good on the second. 52-48. Kopp to Williamson. He'll drive it in, look back outside, was looking for Felt, but it's not going to happen. The over back called, and it's a turnover.
Yeah, Spectrum was asking for a tip there, but it wasn't tip. Good eye by the ref.
Down to 53.5 seconds left in the third quarter of play. Suter, feed inside. The reverse is not going to go for Linder. You got Felt and Henriksen on your hip underneath. That's not an easy shot to make for starters. Here's Zuno. There's a 15-second difference on the clocks. Here's Henriksen, puts up the three. And Henriksen will knock that one down.
Beautiful reverse layup by Van Suter. Felt was a centimeter away from blocking it, but he got it over top of him.
Making the score 55-50. Hasn't been the kindest quarter to Dover, but if they get a stop here, they're going to be pretty happy with what they did. The three's not going to fall for Henriksen. So they're trailing by 5, but Dover made a statement, and I think there is a game to be had here in the fourth quarter, obviously.
Absolutely. Down 14. They made a nice little run to get it back to within 4 or 5. Now it's 5. So they got to be pretty happy with that for sure. And now we've got Ken Winslade, who this court is named after, our historian.
What a legend.
Presenting an honorary life member to Mr. Bob Stebbings.
Bob Stebbings, who, when I started my first newspaper job, I went up to north to Houston to start my career. But when I came back, the first paper I got hired at was in Ladner, South Delta, and I had to cover the South Delta Sun Devils. This guy is the first coach I ever called when I got back home after, wanting to cover high school basketball.
I love it.
And a super nice guy. Bob Stebbings. And not just his coaching career, he's continued to give back and be a part of the community. Of the tournament.
he was president of our association, and for the last 14 years, he's coordinated all the awards. Now, there was a time where the awards coordinator, it was a tough job, but it was only one tournament.
Yeah.
But we went to 4, and Bob coordinated all 4 tournaments.
Wow. Well, our hats tip to Bob Stebbings, and well earned there. And, of course, his brother, the late Bill Stebbings, the head coach of the Siakam Seahawks when they faced Richmond Colts in the 1987 or 88 championship final, rather. Schmidt back up top. He goes to Linder. Frank puts his head down underneath, met by Felt, and that's the toughest obstacle you're going to see in the province.
Yeah, Coach Seaman thought there was contact there. He's trying to get a call.
Now is Spectrum going to start to turn the tide here from the run they gave up down the stretch drive of the third quarter? And Linder, Frank has been so impressive. Heinrichsen's 3 is off the mark, but he potentially was going to queue up another one there. Instead, they go inside. Kopp looking for Felt. It's
tried to force it, and Dover was there to steal it.
Here's Frank Linder. Threads a needle, Frank Linder. (55-52) the score here as we settle into this fourth quarter of play. The BC title on the line, and bingo there. CJ Zuno knocking down the 3. 58-52. So Spectrum still managing to keep that lead. Right now at 2 possessions. Suter back on top to Slater. Schmidt, big steps in the paint. Off the window, an opportunity was there. Schmidt with a nice tip and a reset for him. Of possession, not the clock, but the clock as well, yes.
Offensive foul there after he got the rebound. He put his head down, and great job by Zuno there to take the contact and get the offensive foul.
Spectrum knows that they can start to reestablish the painted area here, and the offensive end can really get back to where they were in this game. But boy, that was not easy to do, but they got it inside to Felt.
Wide open 3.
And they're going to hit it.
Linder drives, jump stops, kicks it out for the wide open triple. It's tit for tat here, baby.
Schmidt for 3. Makes it 60-55. Here's CJ again, thought about it. Instead, back to Henriksen. Elbow feed Felt. Getting a rotation of the ball here in the half court. Kopp thought about it in the paint, instead back outside. Shot clock down to 7. Zuno for 3. And great seal there by Linder. An extension. Linder seemed to be laboring there for a second. Slater can't reach the irons. Joe tried to throw it off of a Spectrum player. Joe Linder couldn't do it. Here's Kopp. Looking for the perfect shot. Zuno rejected by Linder.
Get it out. Oh, my.
Maybe one rotation too much there, Ebe. They had an
Yeah, they
opportunity
had the open
underside.
shot and they over-dribbled there because they actually moved the ball really well. Passed up the open shot, and Mr. Linder said, nope, not today.
He certainly let that be clear with that rejection of CJ Zuno. Here's Henriksen. 3 on the shot clock. He puts it up good if it goes off the irons and into the hands of Schmidt. So Dover getting a stop and now on offense. There's Frank Linder. Oh, he threads a needle again. 6:10 left in this game.
Tough shot there. And they got it back to 2. They got it back to 2.
My goodness. 60-58. Here's Zuno again. All the way from 14 down to 2 down now.
And they didn't double Felt that time. They just trusted Frank Linder to hold him off,
Wow.
and he did.
Here's Zuno. Opportunity to take what's given, and he takes it.
Yeah, see, that time he didn't over-penetrate. He came to a stop and was able to get off a jumper. Well done.
62-58 now. The score, 5.5 minutes to go. Linder, oh, and he puts up the shot there. Thought that was going to fall for a second. Suter tries to save it.
Yeah, that was a heat check. He hit the last one. He thought he'd get another one.
Justin Heinrichsen notifying the official about the wet spot on the floor there, so does some of his own maintenance of the court as here they come as we approach the midway mark of our 4th and final quarter of the 2024-25 season. Zuno to Felt at the high post. Immediately down he goes to Mateo Williamson. Heinrichsen can step into that one. Felt getting a rebound and doing what he can do best in the paint. So
Yeah, I
it's
thought
back
there
up to
was
6.
definitely thought there was contact there, but they just gave the ball back out of bounds to Dover, or to Spectrum, didn't call the foul. And I'm wondering, when do you think we're going to see Hudson Trude again? And when do you think we're going to see Hellman again?
Exactly.
It's under 5 minutes now. They probably might bring him in after this timeout. Although Dover's playing very well without him.
They haven't played in so long, I forgot they were out. Hellman and Trude both still out. That's 64-58. So, wow, interesting the way that's gone. And as we look, yeah, there was a wave of momentum. Dover Bay was putting together that big run.
Yeah.
And Spectrum, to their credit, called a timeout and have effectively stemmed the tide ever since. They're managing to keep that 4 to 6 point lead.
And every time Dover has got it to 2 or 3 points, they've answered every time to get it back up to 2 possessions. So, I mean, they're showing why they're true champions. But wait a minute, Dover Bay's doing the same thing because they're both champions.
Oh my goodness, eh?
That still blows me away.
Flat out of a
I don't think that'll ever happen again. I mean, can you imagine?
It's a Marvel comic, superhero versus superhero. 5-on-5 showdown of the Galaxy's best here between Dover Bay and Spectrum. And with 25 on the shot clock coming out of the timeout, midway mark of the 4th quarter. Here are the Dolphins. Heinrichsen guarding Linder. That little shove to create some space, can't break free. Turns around with a tough shot. Oh my goodness. Oh.
I could just watch that one-on-one battle all night. It's remarkable.
Wow. 64-60 the score. They cut it to 4. Now Heinrichsen. Zuno. Inside he goes, and Felt's going to dunk the basketball. From CJ, the dunk. 66-60. Into the paint they go again, and this time it's Kopp.
You know, Frank Leonard doesn't have any fouls. I think if I'm in that position, I'm not letting him dunk it. I'm going to foul him and make him get it from the line.
Play on the lumber a bit. Hudson Trude is going to make his appearance now. And that's not a surprise given the paint touch plethora of points coming from the Spectrum Thunder. They have pushed the lead back out to 8. Felt's 6 points. His last 3 baskets all coming on paint touches.
Dover extending the pressure a little bit. The zone's coming up higher now.
Hendrickson to Felt. Tyler, Joe Linder, what a job to get a hand in there and get a jump ball. It'll stay with.
And you see that?
I did. I saw the pat on the back. That is
Just
beautiful.
the rivalry, but the respect they show for each other, that's awesome.
With 3:58 remaining, great to see that. We did not miss that, Ebe. We caught one of the great little moments of this game right there. As Joe Linder forces the jump ball, and Felt pats him on the back. Heinrichsen, though, cues up the 3, doesn't go. Linder was there to bat it to Schmidt, his teammate, and quickly brother to Joe across half court. This time Frank looking for Joe, and the foul's going to get called on Kopp.
And that is only the first foul. Both teams only 1 foul. And that could come into play if they have to start fouling, right? To get him in the line. So we'll see what happens there, but wow.
It's setting up a very interesting, and we are in the midst of our stretch drive now, but boy, 3:21 remaining in the season and an 8-point lead here. Dover Bay needing to respond. A Linder jumper is going to fall.
Right on cue.
Sixty-eight, 62 the score.
Good discipline there from the Spectrum. The press, they didn't let the press speed them up, and they just slowed it down, and now forced a foul from the younger Linder.
And that will be Joe's 3rd foul of the game. Went in strong, trying to create a turnover. Here's Hellman on the baseline. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I don't like that call. Don't like that call. I thought he just basically stood there. I thought that was pretty good position, but official saying he got him on the body. That's a good break for Spectrum.
2:49 remaining. And Hellman will shoot free throws here. (69-62), trying to make it an 8-point lead. Tyler Verde signaling to his team, I think, was to take the pressure off. Either way.
Smart play there as he went up in the air. He heard the whistle. He threw it at the hoop. Make sure he got a shooting foul.
Tipped on the miss, but the Thunder are going to get the basketball. 2:37 left here, and Suter's going to foul. He just mentioned those fouls to give, and they're getting used up real quickly here.
Yeah, I think that's smart because they don't want to have to do that with 30 seconds to go. They want to get close to the bonus in case they need to do it. So I just saw Coach Seaman saying, no more, because they're at 4 now. So
good thought there as we see Spectrum now into the front court. Hellman. Zuno. And they'll wind the shot clock now down to 10. Skip it inside to Felt. He gives it up. That's Intrude with those 4 fouls guarding him as Hellman puts up the shot and knocks down the triple. That is a big shot in this game by Hellman.
Yeah, that's a massive backbreaker right there. Late in the shot clock, drilling the 3.
Linder wants the response, can't get it. That Hellman 3 from the top.
Ball went out of bounds off Hellman, so Dover will get another opportunity here.
What was the shot clock at? I didn't see it.
It was at 4.
Wow,
4
4
seconds.
4 seconds on the shot clock. And really restoring the wide gap from that earlier run.
Right off the window there is Suter.
Suter with the bank. 73-65, so Spectrum recognizing clock and situation here, going to take their time.
Well, they let the clock go down, so the last thing Dover wants to do is foul now. They got to play straight up here.
Shot clock at 6. Inside they go to Zuno with a runner, and it's going to go.
And that one came with 1 second on the shot clock.
$75-65. So Dover Bay officially in a bit of a pickle here right now.
Yeah, they are. So Coach Seaman's taking the timeout that they got the free throws here. They obviously need to knock those down. Pardon me. And then they got to come full court. And if they don't get a turnover in like the first 5 to 7 seconds, they need to foul.
Yeah.
And they got to hope that Spectrum might miss some free throws. After 3 quarters, Spectrum was 6 for 7 from the line, 86%. So pretty good free throw shooting team.
There is a certain poise to Spectrum in these situations, and it starts with Coach Verde. You just don't see any panic in Spectrum.
No, they, it's that old phrase, act like you've been here before, and they have.
Yeah.
And they know what they need to do. They don't lose their cool. When you do that, when you see a group of grade 11s do what they did last year, they're way ahead in their development mentally and how they approach the game. So you would expect it would continue. And the interesting was yesterday, that was close for them, right? And they got a little rattled with those turnovers, right? Just a little. But,
that might have been good in a sense.
Well, I think it is. I think when you go through that, you learn so much. And I said to some of my colleagues, I said, I think Spectrum's a favorite to win because they escaped yesterday.
Isn't that interesting? We're talking, of course, about getting by the St. George's Saints in thrilling fashion in the Final Four. Linder misses 1 of 2.
Oh, don't call that. I hate this call. I understand it. They're trying to foul, right? That's what they're doing. He reached out and he did grab him. But again, by rule,
yeah,
they're right. But I just think they're trying to foul. What's happening in the game. I just don't think you need to call that an unsporting foul. I know all my referee friends will tell me I'm wrong, and I probably am wrong, but I think there has to be some common sense. They're fouling, as long as they're not like trying to hurt a guy or deck a guy, and they kind of play the ball. What I would do on that one is I'd say, hey, you do that again, I'm going to have to call in sportsmanlike. Yeah. But that's a tough break for Dover because now they're going to have to foul again, and they're down 10.
With possession here off the unsportsmanlike, in the front court they go to Tyler Felt. Quickly down to Zuno. And that's Schmidt coming up really quickly to foul number 3. Slipping out of their grasp, the guys from Nanaimo. Of course, the occasion, as we mentioned.
Yeah, it's desperation time for them now.
47 years after the last All-Vancouver Island top-tier championship final. On that night, Nanaimo secondary beat Oak Bay. And right now, the team from the provincial capital, Spectrum, is the one with the edge here as Zuno misses the first.
And if they hold on, they will be with the names of many great programs who've gone back-to-back. Kitsilano, Terry Fox, Oak Bay, Richmond. There hasn't been a lot I'm sure Duke of Connaught did too.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty good company to
Oh,
be
it
in.
certainly is. And Tyler Verde, this kid from the Prince Rupert Rainmakers who reached out to Coach Shields last year for advice, has created something special here. The program will have to regenerate at the top end. Dover Bay will lose some great talent too, but they put on something special this year that we just cannot underappreciate. The specialness of this Vancouver Island troika, which also included the Oak Bay Bays.
And that is going to be the 5th foul on Dane Schmidt.
So Schmidt will foul out of the game.
Well, at this point, Dover's going to need a Reggie Miller-like moment where they bang a few threes in a short period of time.
And no Spike Lee in the seats to urge them on here, so. But to antagonize them. They are at the free throw line here with under a minute remaining and push the lead now to 12 with Hellman. Linder. And with every ounce of his fiber trying to score.
Too and couldn't get that one either. And, you know, both squads know it now. They know what's going to happen.
As we mentioned earlier, the 5th meeting this season between these 3 teams. 3 wins for Spectrum, 1 for Dover Bay coming in. Spectrum actually went into Dover Bay's gym and beat them twice. Semifinals of the Island Championships, but also in early 2025 at the Dover Bay gym. And also were able to beat Dover Bay at Spectrum's gym. So they've been fairly complete here.
Yeah, a very solid screen set there by Slater. And Kopp didn't see it, ran right into it. But they're not in bonus, so they won't be shooting.
Suter puts up the 3.
And I don't know if Dover's going to foul anymore. They'll probably just let Spectrum dribble it out. Spectrum will just hold it and let the shot clock go off.
And Ebe, your thoughts, because Tyler Felt did win the MVP last year. You don't see too many 2-time MVPs, but he's been so huge in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's probably got to be. Oh, that's smart. Hit the shot clock so it resets. And I think he probably will likely be the selection because he's been phenomenal. You know, Hendrickson didn't do a lot of scoring in this tournament.
But he did a ton of things.
I mean, if I had say on who the best defensive player is, that's who I'm picking.
There you go. And look at this. It feels just as good the second time around for the Spectrum Thunder and their fans who storm the court. And they will do the dance here at center court at the Langley Event Center. Reigning 2-time champions of the BC Boys top-tiered quad A basketball
Coach
world.
is having their own little celebration over there.
What a job they did, the Spectrum Thunder. And they get it done. 81-66, the final score. They beat the Dover Bay Dolphins of Nanaimo. Dover Bay took the one big run at the Meeb, and after that, Spectrum was able to reset and show their true DNA.
Yeah, and what a year we've had. I mean, 3 of the number 1 teams won and a number 2 team won. And, you know, we without saying, we have to mention that the amazing work that the tournament committee does, supported by our BC High School Boys Basketball Association and BC School Sports, and Jason Winslade and his entire crew here at the Langley Event Center. People have to understand it's not just these 5 days that we've had here. It's been 3 weeks. Yeah. Junior boys, senior girls, all of the employees here are looking forward to when this game's over so they can get some rest. But thank you so much to Jason Winslade and his crew, the Township of Langley, because it just keeps getting better every year.
And they opened the doors, they created a gem, and it has been absolutely amazing to see the spectacle that BC Boys High School basketball has become on a large-scale basis. as you said so well, Ebe, event. It's got gained event status now, and it's great to see with 2 island teams what happened
You
here
know,
today.
back in the day when it was at the Agrodome with just the top tier, if there was 2 island teams in the final, it would have been a good crowd, but nothing like this because it's just the place to be now.
We're
And
going to let
that's
the
so
pitchers tell
exciting.
the story here, Ebe, and we continue. Another season coming to an end here. It's bittersweet, but it's a sign of rebirth in the fall. We're going to see who the best teams are, and we'll get on this road again to the Langley events.
Wow,
and I
you
want
know,
to thank you.
And thank you, too. As I said earlier, you know, as a coach, you want to be here every year.
Yeah.
You don't always get it. For me, I'm so lucky because if I don't get it, I get to come work with you, my
Oh,
friend.
that's great. Thanks so much. I enjoy it. I can't even put it into words. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thanks, brother.
We'll be back soon together. And for everybody on our TFSCTV.ca staff, what a great job. We thank all of you for all the great images, everything you do in getting us on the air, and we thank our viewers as well. Bidding farewell from a tremendous 2025 season, Howard Samura here for everybody at the Langley Event Center. We thank you for being a passionate fan of BC Boys High School basketball. Woo!
Championships. Presenting this scholarship is Thomas Starren from Primetime Sports. This year's winner from Spectrum, Justin Heinrichsen. Moving on to the awards from the championship final. Our first award is the Quinn Keast Foundation Boys Player of the Championship Game. This award is being presented by Tom Keast from the Quinn Keast Foundation. He will receive a Quinn Keast Award plaque and the official Player of the Game t-shirt presented by the Vancouver Bandits. Congratulations to our championship Player of the Game from Spectrum, number 1, Harper Kopp. Next up is the Roger Morrow 4A Boys Basketball Championship Coach Recognition. In remembrance of a longtime tournament supporter, the 2025 Roger Morrow 4A Boys Championship Coach will receive a commemorative plaque. It's being presented by Township of Langley Councillor Steve Ferguson. Congratulations to our 4A Championship Coach, the Spectrum Thunder's Tyler Verde. Next up is the Braich Foundation Most Inspirational Player. Presenting the Most Inspirational Player Award are Bobby and Bradley Braich from the Braich Foundation. Congratulations to the winner from the Yale Lions, number 3, Aaron Adams.
You don't think so?
It's now time for our All-Star Awards, beginning with the 4A boys second All-Star team. From Terry Fox, number 23, Jason Akani. From Holy Cross, number 1, Okoli Uefi. From Centennial, number 5, Alex Burson. From Terry Fox, number 8, Marvin Reyes. And from Dover Bay, number 13, Van Suter. All right, now moving on to the 4A boys first All-Star team. From Dover Bay, number 10, Frank Linder. Also from Dover Bay, number 11, Joe Linder. From Spectrum, number 13, Justin Heinrichsen. Also from Spectrum, number 23, Elijah Hellman. And also from Spectrum, number 5, Tyler Fell. Next up is the 4A boys Best Defensive Player. Congratulations to this year's winner of the Top Defensive Player from Spectrum, number 5, Tyler Fell. Our next award is the 4A boys Most Valuable Player, who will receive a commemorative clock and trophy. Congratulations to the Most Valuable Player of the 2025 BC School Sports 4A boys Basketball Provincial Tournament. From St. George's, number 1, Dorian Glogovic. We're now going to move on to our 4A team awards, beginning with the Wink Wilcox Most Sportsmanlike Team. Todd Prodanek from BC Basketball Officials Association will present the Wink Wilcox Most Sportsmanlike Team of the 2025 BC School Sports 4A Boys Basketball Provincial Tournament to the Prince George Polars. If we could have representatives from Prince George come forward to the stage to receive their recognition.